infrastructure because we are looking at two reasons. One, with better infrastructure, you're looking at increasing the productivity of your resources. If I compare Delhi and say a backward village, we have schools, we have hospitals which do enhance our productivity as human capital. So they are turning human resources into human capital and the human capital is getting more productive. So it is advantageous. अब अगर मैं किसी फार ऑफ प्लेस पे जाती हूँ, आपका ह्यूमन रिसोर्स वहाँ पर भी है, वहाँ पर भी लोगों के पास पोटेंशियल है. What is it that they don't really have? They're not really equipped with enough facilities that they can encash upon that. आपके पास schools नहीं है, आपके पास research and development के लिए कोई आप पे पैसा नहीं लगा रहा है. So you're looking at dearth of infrastructure at some places, hence lower labor productivity, lower economic growth in that area. जहाँ आपका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर स्ट्रॉन्ग होगा, यू कैन ऑल्सो लुक एट इंक्रीज्ड आउटपुट, इंक्रीज्ड लेबर प्रोडक्टिविटी, इंक्रीज्ड कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन इन जीडीपी. मूविंग ऑन, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, हम उसको ब्रॉडली दो बेसिस में डिवाइड करते हैं. एक हम कहते हैं इकोनॉमिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और दूसरा होता है सोशल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. इकोनॉमिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वो होता है जो डायरेक्टली आपकी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ बढ़ाता है. तो अगर मैं ट्रांसपोर्टेशन की बात करती हूँ या स्टोरेज की बात करती हूँ या फिर इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन की बात करती हूँ, दैट गोज एज माई इकोनॉमिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. अगर ये सारा नहीं होगा तो मेरी इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज एकदम से बंद हो जाएंगी. दूसरा होता है सोशल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. सोशल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इनडायरेक्टली आपकी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ में हेल्प करता है. इनडायरेक्टली कैसे? इफ आई से दैट यू इन्वेस्ट इन ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज, you make them better. The better the human resource, the better the contribution they will have to offer. So if I say education, if I say healthcare, if I say provision of clean drinking water, sanitation, housing, ये सारे आपके social infrastructure में जाते हैं, which basically will simply say that improve the standard of living of the people, invest in your society, and they are the ones who will rather work for the economic growth. Does it seem okay so far?
Ma'am, can you give some examples of social infrastructure?
Can I just repeat the ones that I just gave?
Yeah, ma'am.
I spoke of education, that is investing in your human resource in form of knowledge and skills. I spoke of health or your hospitals that can increase or work on the healthy aspect of the population. Clean drinking water also contributes to the health. If there is no access to clean drinking water, there are chances that people will fall sick very often. Then there's proper housing. Housing आप क्यों proper बोलते हैं? Because that is related to hygiene also. If you don't have a proper housing facility, if you're living in kacha houses or the houses that are not really maintained, again can take a toll on the person. Then I spoke of sanitation. Again, basic provision that should be there for people. Social infrastructure simply improving the quality of life of the people. और क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ बढ़ती है, लोग अपने आप अच्छे से रहेंगे, सो दे विल बी एबल टू वर्क बेटर. इकोनॉमिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डायरेक्टली इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ की तरफ कंट्रीब्यूट करता है. वेयर आई स्पोक ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ही नहीं है, आपकी फैक्ट्रीज ही रन नहीं करेंगी, आउटपुट ही नहीं होगा. या फिर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ही नहीं है, सो मेरा whatever, if I say a school, my projector cannot work, my Wi-Fi will not work, so I'll not be able to take class. आपका बहुत सारा economic activities at a halt आ जाएगा अगर electrification नहीं है. Similarly, the same can be said for transportation. If I'm unable to transport goods from one place to another, then there's no point of making so many of them. अगर तो अपने ही विलेज में या अपने ही सिटी में बनाना है तो आप थोड़ा सा बना के सेल कर दोगे. If you're looking at increased economic growth, if you're looking at export and import, then you will talk about better transportation facilities. जहाँ पर government ports पे भी invest करते हैं, वो railways पे भी जो आपकी वो freight की जो carry करते हैं, that also goes as a part of infrastructure. Alright, there's one more video here. Anyone? I think someone wanted to say something.
No, ma'am. I was just saying no.
Okay. There's one more video here. This one.
We're urbanizing well over 1 million people a week. That means that every 2 months, there's the equivalent of a New York metropolitan area being erected on this planet. is there kind of an optimum or maximum size to a city? Could you have Tokyo 100 million or Mexico City 100 million?
The economy will double in the next 20 years, and the infrastructure needs for economic development are just enormous. You can't do really economic development without infrastructure.
People now know what other people have in other parts of the world, and everybody wants that. The governments need to rise to the challenge.
If you talk to a developing country, what they'll say is they need foreign investment. I mean, where's the investment going to come from?
Well, there's a lot of short-term liquidity in the market. Long-term capital is still very difficult to get to commit.
We've got to bring in new investors. They've got to see that infrastructure is a major part, not only of their investment portfolio, but of developing the economy.
The whole point of having a city, the whole point of all that infrastructure is a way of bringing people together, create new things, and in particular create wealth.
Governments, I think, are beginning to understand that they have to put in place policy measures, guarantee systems. Nobody's got the answers yet, but there's a lot of thinking going on.
The most important thing is cooperation. World Economic Forum can facilitate cooperation, collaboration among governments, the private sector.
Construction organizations, development organizations, companies like ourselves in the real estate sector who have an intellectual property in this area.
Looking at case studies of what has worked and what has been very successful, and then helping people become aware and sharing best practice and be an advocate of the necessary changes that need to take place.
Probably going to be technical solutions, and we're the folks that can provide technical solutions.
You know, it's such an extraordinary group of people that are attracted here. Potentially, maybe there can be a little impact on what's going to happen.
All right, anyone who can simply paraphrase what this was about?
Ma'am, this was basically about the enormous infrastructure needs which are coming up in the near future because of the exponential expansion of our economies all over the world.
Taken. Anyone else who would want to add something? It spoke of the role of the government, construction, and private sector. What exactly are we expecting from different sectors? I thought it was just the government that was supposed to be involved. Someone to talk about the role of private sector. I thought they just worked for profit. Private sector में infrastructure कहाँ आ जाता है?
Ma'am, without infrastructure, private sector cannot even exist. They need all the infrastructure like electricity, building space, and all the necessary channels for production and sales of goods and services which they are producing. Private sector simply cannot exist without the infrastructure needed.
Taken, but why are we relying on private sector for infrastructure? Wasn't that the government's job? Investment. Akshay, do they have as much money to invest as
Ma'am,
is
they do.
needed? Naji.
Ma'am, they invest for the more profits in future.
Taken. My question is, do they have as much money? जितना चाहिए उतना है इनके पास?
And some companies have.
Okay.
Ma'am, some companies do have that much profit. Some companies don't have, but they really have that skill which is needed to invest profitably. That is why the investment by them does not go into losses that often.
Taken. Sanish, managerial capability accepted. Lately, this concept of public-private partnership has come in. Now, lately, आराम से मतलब 10-12 साल हो गए हैं. But what was the idea? Initially, the notion was that it was only the government's responsibility to ensure that infrastructure is in place. After some time, the government acknowledged कि हमारे पास इतना technical know-how नहीं है, या फिर हम ये best नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, or maybe we are taking a lot of time, and maybe we are delivering a substandard product. Then they came to the notion of PPP. PPP क्या होता है? Public Private Partnership, जहाँ पे government और private sector they come and they have a deal. Public sector क्या करता है? ये पैसा दे देता है. That all right, we'll fund all the activities. Private sector क्या करता है? They get their technical know-how, they get their managerial capabilities, they get their skills, and then both of them they get whatever they have best, and they work and they deliver infrastructural facilities. So traditionally it was just the government's responsibility. Lately, more and more, more and more of private sectors have been coming in. So if I talk about Akshit's point where he's talking about investment being put in, अगर मैं telecommunication देखती हूँ, पहले I think it was till 1998 or 99 जब आपका telecom industry में सिर्फ public sector था, सिर्फ MTNL हुआ करता था. That is when the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government came in and they brought the telecom. उसके बाद आपका private sector आया है, उसके बाद your increased changes have come in. अब आप देखते हो सबके पास mobile phones हैं, the call rates are so cheap. कैसे हो पाया है? Because you've given the private sector a chance to do that. उससे पहले, if you ever talk to your parents as to how was calling back in say 1970s and 1980s, incoming के भी पैसे लगते थे. Have your parents ever told all these stories to you?
Yes, ma'am. In fact, some days ago we were talking about this only, that my father was telling me that पहले incoming के 5 रुपए लगते थे, फिर धीरे धीरे करके 3 रुपए लगने लगे, फिर 2 रुपए, अब तो फ्री हो गया, और अब तो इतना कंपटीशन है कि टेलीकॉम के प्राइसेस भी बहुत नीचे आ गए हैं.
All right, Shivam, I believe my father is older than your father because my father is also seeing times of ₹16 ki incoming call per minute. I don't know if it was per minute, I've never asked. But ₹16 was charged for answering a call. Just imagine, जब आपका government के अंदर ये सारा control है, तो उनमें जब ये नया phone आया है, तो आपका outgoing भी charged है, incoming भी charged है. Over a period of time, when the rules have changed and the private sector has come in, certain things have improved for sure. Obviously, उसके भी अब अपने अलग से disadvantages होते हैं. No one can deny the challenges that come with the involvement of the private sector. जब हम कहते हैं profit ही देखते हैं, इनका motive welfare नहीं है. But if regulated properly, things can benefit both. All right, I'll just highlight. Hanji.
In this sense, the government was also not doing any welfare. They were charging us very high, so we can say that they were also making profit out of all these things.
Yeah, Shashank, I'll tell you one thing. Our government has made too many incorrect policies, but the intent was that you would not want to give so much of control to the private sector. Monopoly हो जाए, duopoly हो जाए, oligopoly हो जाए, जहाँ पे government ना control कर पाए, is also a sad situation. So they thought rather let us run it instead of giving so much of power to just a few private companies. That was the thought. Now implementing that thought also comes with a lot of compromise. The compromise that we just discussed. Did
Yes,
this make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Another thing, we will also have to acknowledge that when we got our independence, our government was also a young government. They did not really know how to run such a big country. इतना अब आपके में इतनी variety है in of terms of people, आपका terrain different है, लोग different है. How exactly can we control? तो उनको आया ही नहीं समझ करना क्या है, unless कुछ करना was only the option that we had. That was in 1991. जब आपको रिफॉर्म्स लेने ही पड़ गए, और फिर जब रिफॉर्म्स लेने शुरू करे, when you thought that all right, certain reforms are benefiting us, तो उसके बाद slowly and steadily और ये reforms लाए हैं. The reform that I was talking about was 1999 का reform. All right. Things that we've discussed so far, if I see, we've spoken about topic 8.1, which is generally talking about what exactly, थोड़ा indirectly आपको importance of infrastructure बता रहे हैं through examples. What is infrastructure में they're discussing, they're giving several parts of infrastructure. Parts में कौन से कैसे होंगे, where they're talking about economic and social infrastructure. I can give you say an odd one out kind of a question, जहाँ पे मैं आपको 4 examples दे दूँ और मैं बता दूँ कि odd one out pick करो. देखना पड़ेगा आपको कि सारे economic है, सारे social है. I can explicitly ask for examples of economic infrastructure or social infrastructure. वन एडवांटेज जो है वो ये होगा कि दोनों डायरेक्टली इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ में कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं। इकोनॉमिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डायरेक्टली करता है और सोशल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इनडायरेक्टली कंट्रीब्यूट करता है। Talking about relevance of infrastructure, we have again largely spoken about this. I would just want you people to take 2 minutes and read this portion. I can't highlight for some reason. ये 8.3 का टॉपिक आप एक बार पूरा पढ़े and then let's discuss.
चल मैम।
Ananya, do you think you can highlight any relevance of infrastructure for us, be it from the from the book or outside the book?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, infrastructure contributes to the economic development by increasing the productivity of the factors of the production, and it also, that is the economic benefit, and also it leads to improving the quality of life of the people, that is the social benefit.
Charvi, do you think you can give me any one example of infrastructure increasing the productivity of factors of production?
Ma'am, the healthcare and like better education, all of them eventually lead to increase in productivity.
Vikram, someone who can talk about how economic. Alright, I can also link that with quality of life as well, where you're talking about investing in people increases the productivity of the people. I can also add education here. I can also add training institutions here. They're also talking about how water supply and sanitation can reduce morbidity, where your morbidity and mortality are largely related to the ill effects of poor health infrastructure. तो mortality होता है death rates, morbidity होता है आप कितने जल्दी बीमार पड़ जाते हो। आपको morbidity कैसे पता चलता है? You have different indicators for that. One of them can be the dependence or the footfall in hospitals. तो अभी का आप morbidity rate देखोगे बहुत high होगा. People are visiting hospitals and clinics way more than what they were initially visiting. Why was India so panicky about the COVID-19 spread, and why did we have this policy of initial lockdown? Because they knew that their health infrastructure is very poor. अगर इतना फैलता है and so many people fall sick and so many people start visiting the hospital, they knew that their infrastructure could not bear the burden of that. Another, there were so many articles where people were writing, if United States is suffering, then we have no other countries, etc. वो भी क्यों बोल रहे थे? सिर्फ इसीलिए नहीं क्योंकि उनके पास बहुत पैसा है, इसलिए because then we already know that they have world-class infrastructure when it comes to health. If you are unable to manage the footfall, if your hospitals have overflowing patients with controlled population and better infrastructure. All right, moving on. Let's do one thing. Let's start from topic 8.4 when we meet next. One thing, this lesson has certain deletions. When we meet tomorrow, I'll tell you the parts that are deleted. For now, I've posted your attendance question. Please go and mark your attendance. We continue tomorrow.
Fine, ma'am. Good day.